यार, why does everyone keep talking about the future? इतना डरते क्यों है लोग फ्यूचर से? टीचर ने बोला मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ोगे तो फ्यूचर कैसे बनाओगे? फ्रेंड्स कहते हैं हाइट शॉट मतलब नो फ्यूचर. फ्यूचर हाइट देख के आता है क्या? एनीवे, आई डिसाइडेड आई राइट विथ माई लेफ्ट बट आई विल बी अ राइट हैंडेड बॅट्समन. सबने बोला लेफ्टी आहे लेफ्टी रहे, फ्यूचर मत बिगाड. पण मला हाच स्टान्स आवडतो. ग्रिप तो सही रहा, स्ट्रेट ड्राइव भी सही लगा, and I will get better at it. I will practice and practice and practice. I am not afraid of the future.
Don't fear the future. Prepare for it. With a range of life insurance plans from AGS Federal Life Insurance.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition with Marcus Stoinis. You know, Lucknow picked him up for a significant amount of money as an all-rounder, as a leader, as a match winner. Clearly one of the big draws of IPL this particular year in 2022, one of Australia's stars in the winning campaign in the 2021, and all of us have seen Marcus perform, whether it is in the Big Bash, whether it is in Australia colours, and of course for the Delhi Capitals in the last few years. Marcus, welcome to the show. Clearly, the decision proves that they are backing the Lucknow team. Lucknow Super Giants are backing you as one of their key players and leader and all-rounder. Your first thoughts on IPL 2022?
Yeah, thanks, Boria. Look, firstly, it's been a little bit in the making. We've been speaking for a couple of months, and it's a privilege to, like you said, be chosen in these first couple of, or out of the first three players to represent Lucknow, and a privilege to be a part of the new franchise and help to be trusted to build a culture with this team. Obviously, Sanjeev Goenka, purchased this new team for a good amount of money, and it's nice to be trusted and to feel part of that inner sanctum straight away.
Okay, and in your case, you have had a great BBL, a Big Bash record, good IPL record, very good Australia record. So you come with a lot of sort of unique skill sets and achievements. How are you looking at this role? Because clearly you are being entrusted with a kind of leadership role, and that is evident from the signing. How are you looking at being one of the key people in that team?
Yeah, look, I think all the good teams I've played in through my career, it started with the environment and the environment you build and that's from the top up. Whether it's support staff, whether it's assistant coaches, captains, overseas players, the culture is very important. And so I think the opportunity there to help shape a culture of a brand new team, this hasn't been done for, I think, 11 years now. So that's one of the most exciting parts for me personally. And yeah, so you work with the people around you, you work with the owners, with the coaches, and you get an idea of the vision that they want to create. And then as a player, an overseas player, you then try to accommodate as best you can, and you add your own spin to things, which I'm looking forward to. But you work with the likes of KL Rahul, with the coach Andy Flower, and you all get this big train moving in the right direction.
You played with KL before, because KL was on my show earlier and said that Marcus brings in a lot of energy. He has so much versatility. He has opened, he's batted in the middle order. So he's got a number of different skill sets. Your thoughts on KL Rahul?
Well, KL's been, I think, I'd assume he's the leading run scorer in IPL over the last 4 years, I'd say. And he's now, from when I knew him back at Kings 11, we knew he was a great player. And I think obviously the Indian Cricket Board and the Indian cricket team has seen that he's a great leader as well. And you've seen that in his promotion through the ranks into all formats and into captaining the team in different formats as well. So I think he's got a great reputation. From already what I know about KL, we've known that personally as friends and as players. But I think one of the keys for him is the calm head on his shoulders. He's obviously got a lot of responsibility with this team, and he's been trusted by Sanjeev and the whole organisation. But I think they've picked the right person. I think obviously his cricket speaks for itself, but more importantly, I think he can create a good environment for the team.
Okay, and in your case, Marcus, clearly you've opened the batting in the Big Bash, 700 runs in one season, several match-winning innings. including ones recently, but you've also been given the job of a finisher. What do you prefer personally? I mean, is it whatever the team requires? And how do you deal with, these are serious jobs, to finish a game for a team, take the team to victory. How do you approach your own game?
Yeah, it's been a work in progress. I think if you asked me 3 years ago, I wanted to open the batting. And I wanted to score the most runs in the comp. I wanted to open the batting, and you wanted to put your stamp on the competition. And then it took coaches like Andrew McDonald, Trent Woodhill here at the Melbourne Stars, a few coaches to sort of show me the other side of finishing the innings and describe to me how impactful that can be for the team and what they're looking for. And then under the tutelage of Ricky in Delhi, he taught me a lot more as well about how to read the game and how to see the different situations. So definitely over the last 3 years, 2 in particular, batting in that middle order and finishing role has probably become where I see my biggest value. And my type of character, like I want to influence the game. I want to be there at the end. I want to take responsibility. So I think it suits pretty well.
And do you feel the pressure of that? Because clearly a new franchise, I mean, IPL, one of the most watched leagues in the world, high pressure situation. How do you deal with, clearly as the leader, 24 runs of the last 2? Do you feel the pressure, or is it a challenge? How do you approach such situations?
Yeah, that's well put. I think you do feel the pressure and you quickly switch it. I think the mindset to have is to see the challenge, see the opportunity to win the game. I think when you look back and you think about the best batsmen that have been in that role, and even last year I spoke to multiple different players that bat in that role, whether it was Hardik Pandya, so you understand that you got to see those situations as an opportunity to win the game. I spoke to Dhoni a lot about it after one of our games where he actually beat Delhi nearly single-handedly at the end in one of the semi-final. And he spoke to me about the routines he goes through, how he sees the game, how he controls his breath, how he manages his emotions. So there's a lot that goes into it, and you learn from players, you learn from coaches. And then when you get in the middle, it's about you controlling this.
I'm interested in this Dhoni thing because he's such an enigma for all of us. Can you give me a little bit more on this?
Well, I don't know if he's such a. I feel bad sometimes if I'm speaking for him, but I'll relay sort of the crux of what we spoke about. And he just sort of said to me, the way you got to approach it is looking to be there at the end and take responsibility. There's different ways to do it, and to try and score the runs early and finish the game in the 18th over. But he said the risk that he feels is you leave that to someone else then if you get out. And he said you build that relationship with your team, with the people batting around you, and different players understand their different roles throughout the game. And for him, it's to be there at the end and to take ownership and to, I guess almost, you could speak even, this isn't from him, just the whole crowd, the opposition, everyone's thinking when Dhoni's at the ground, this game's not over, or that he's in control, or that somehow this is going to plan, even though it might not be, and it needs 20 off the last over. You sort of think, well, maybe he meant this. And I think that is part of the art that he's produced, and he can have that influence over a big amount of people. And then he spoke about how he remains calm. And so the fact that if he's remaining calm, he doesn't need to get calmer, he doesn't need to be better, but in those situations, other people are panicking or other people are moving this way, and he's just staying where he is. So he's already getting that competitive advantage. So that was really interesting. And we see certain parts of the game very similar. And I've worked with a lot of good people that have helped me with this similar side of the game. So it's inspirational though to hear it from someone that's done it for so long and such a champion of our era of cricket. So that motivates you to again enjoy this type of role.
Thank you very much for speaking to me, Marcus. All the very best with training and with everything else.
Appreciate it, Boria. Thank you.
Thank you.